And I also need you to stop selling your little products. I'm not trying to get shut down.
Little? As a thriving businesswoman, I am highly offended. And besides, I can't give nobody my address. I'm an influencer now.
Okay, well, as a real business owner, take my advice. Get you a license, get your affairs in order, and don't get me shut down or sued. I got enough on my plate, Pam.
Okay, the question is, could Pam's Roots to Riches product be a danger to Karen's fresh start? And legally, I think yes, to an extent, because of the fact that if, let's say, someone decides to sue Pam for the product Roots to Riches for like an allergic reaction or something like that, and she doesn't have a business license to sell, distribute her product, or let's say there is a mainstream, hair care product that is eerily similar to Roots to Riches, and they have a copyright, a license to the quote unquote recipe and whatnot, and Pam is just this person selling it out of the trunk of her car, metaphorically, of course. It is possible that Karen's shop could be put in danger. But I want to talk about this from two angles because, I think that Karen is absolutely right that, that Pam needs to do things by the books in terms of like getting a license and whatnot. That way, if anything happens, her shop won't be in trouble because regardless as to whether or not Karen is the face of Roots to Riches, the item is being distributed in her shop. So she could possibly face legal ramifications if Pam found herself in some sort of bind. Not to mention, it's on record that her salon's accounts funded some of Pam's product because Pam would take money out of the pot for her own stuff. So on the one hand, yeah, Pam going to Andy's law firm to talk to the proper people to get, her business straight is legit. Now, on the other hand, it's also, do you think Karen's just hating? I mean, she gets the phone call, a customer wants some Roots to Riches. It's like, no, we don't do that here. And then, Pam is like, well, I can't have my phone number out there. I'm a social media influencer and whatnot. But it's like, well, be that as it may, you really do need to, get your own business together. So I think that to some extent there could be some jealousy there. The fact that Karen went to college. Now, we don't know what her major was, but regardless, she's a college educated person who started her own business. And it's inconsistent as to whether or not the salon is doing well. It's like one episode, business is slow. Nobody's come in. The next episode, the business is booming. There, every chair has a client in it. There are people sitting towards the front because they got appointments. So I'm very uncertain of what the financial state of the salon is. But when it comes to Roots to Riches, it just seems to get bigger and bigger with each passing episode. Now, when it comes down to it, could it be that just because, Pam is looked down upon, the fact that she didn't go to school and, all of a sudden she has this product that's blowing up and it seems like there could be more callers for Roots to Riches than the salon. And it makes sense because a few episodes ago, people were lined outside of the door, probably down the sidewalk, to get some of Pam's product because didn't she say she had like 300 orders or something like that? So Pam's blowing up. But again, what do you think? It's like, do you think that Karen's hating or do you think she is looking out? Well, I wouldn't even say she's looking out for Pam so much as looking out for herself because she does have a point. If something goes wrong with the product or something and somebody wants to, file a lawsuit, then Pam needs to make sure she's the one who has her ass in the fire as opposed to Karen. But then you also remember what Zach said to, I think, either Fatima, Danny, or Miss Lisa. I forgot who. But he wanted to start a barbershop. It's like, oh, Karen, you want a salon? Well, maybe we can do a divvy up where I can do a barbershop, cutting hair in the back, and you can have the front to do your salon. And Karen didn't want that. Now, at first she said, Zach was like, yeah, because you don't, Zach was like, yeah, she said, I don't want you up in there in my shop cutting hair and, getting in some trouble like you usually do. And that makes sense with Zach's track record. He probably would do some crazy stuff that will end up getting the entire place shut down. But on the other hand, it's like perhaps she saw the potential in Zach, and just like with Pam, she would rather hold them down underfoot. But then the moment they decide to branch out on their own, they start to flourish, and then she starts hating. I mean, like Fatima said, the investment she made. But I mean, what's the point of investing in Zach, and you would just stay with him for those 3 years and he would continue to get worse and worse and not grow? So you opt for something better, but then somebody else comes and plucks him out of the ground, and then he starts to flourish. I think the same thing could be said of Pam, where, she decided to do something for herself, and it turned out that it would blow up, and it's doing potentially better than the salon given the next few months. So yeah, I think that Pam is moving in the right direction, and she's probably going to get to the point where her product is so big that her legal advisor is going to say you ought to just go into business for yourself. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is Karen a hater, or is she giving sage advice to Pam, or is it a little bit of both? Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.